Journey to one of the most majestic places on Earth. Discover the rich traditions, beautiful landscapes, and revered culture. Now enjoy 72-hour visa-free transit. Make your next vacation unforgettable. Destination Beijing. Saturday at 7:30, right here on ABC 7.
Capital of an ancient empire. Steeped in thousands of years of culture. A city bursting with life and opportunity. A people celebrating their past while embracing the future. A place to inspire and a journey to experience. This is Beijing, a modern city with an imperial past.
Beijing is a world capital, full of culture, activity, whatever you want to have is here.
You think New York is a big city until you come to a place like this.
It's a boom time right now in Beijing.
Beijing has become one of the most modern capitals in the world.
Wonderful universities, you have a thriving tech world. It's constantly evolving.
The growth of public transport in this city is phenomenal.
I think the Beijing subway might even be better than New York because they're constantly expanding.
Now that Beijing is modern and trying to find its new identity, there's all sorts of new cultures that are emerging.
北京呢，它是一种非常的包容的城市。
Beijing is a true melting pot. We welcome people from all over the world to make them feel right at home.
What's up? I'm Stefan Marbury, and you are at my crib in Longfujin, Beijing, China.
New York native and two-time NBA All-Star Stefan Marbury came to China in 2010 to play in the Chinese Basketball Association.
Coming from America and coming to China, it was definitely a brand new start for me.
In 2011, he led the Beijing Ducks to their first ever championship, solidifying his rebirth and his influence in Chinese culture.
Coming to Beijing, it gave me a whole new opportunity to be able to explore something totally different in my life.
Marbury's story of redemption and perseverance endeared him to the Chinese people, making him a national icon. With statues built and even a musical inspired by his life, he has established himself as a source of inspiration and hope for the people of Beijing.
You are the champion!
.798 is the most successful art district in Beijing. And Robert Burnell, the first American to move into 798, is one of its pioneers.
We had Soho, Greenwich Village in the back of our mind when we moved out here, and we discovered this fantastic space that used to be a military factory. It began as an artist enclave of 100 artists and kind of dreamed of the day when the public would be able to see these exhibitions and to mingle with us and to exchange ideas with us, and it happened. And now it's flooded with these young people who really want to see it, be a part of it.
798 is the center of creativity in Beijing, and it has a huge influence on young aspiring artists.
For the first time probably in the history of contemporary art anywhere in the world, the government actually intervened on behalf of contemporary art.
It is my job to make sure that 798 will always be a place for artists only, so that the art at 798 can continue to thrive.
I always said, the day China opens, I'll go crazy. I've got to go. It was different than any place else in the world I had ever seen. I must have been to China about 35, 36 times. I've been in the travel business since 1961. But it all began with China.
The history of Beijing goes back 3,000 years. And 860 of those years as the capital of China. It is truly an authentic imperial city.
The most iconic destination in Beijing is the Forbidden City, and for good reason. It's the largest and most well-preserved palace in the world. Now called the Palace Museum, it is almost 600 years old, home to 24 Chinese emperors, surrounded by a 150-foot moat covering 2 million square feet, and all of the original pieces made entirely of wood. It was once forbidden to all unless you had the emperor's permission. Today, it is open for all to admire. The attention to detail cannot be overstated, nor can the sheer size and symmetry. Featuring over 800 buildings and more than 9,000 rooms. Constructed on the principles of feng shui, all major buildings face south, opening to a courtyard and flanked by lesser buildings.
The Chinese were very literal to really connect to the qi or the energy of Mother Nature. So how that's manifested is to have a very simple geometry of north-south, east-west.
Beijing has China's largest museum housed in the Forbidden City. The porcelain collections here, from the Ming and the Qing dynasties in particular, hold both artistic value and historical importance.
The Palace Museum houses over 1 million pieces of Chinese history. Walking through the vast expanse of the Forbidden City gives you an immediate sense of the history and the legend of the imperial dynasties. The most important building in the Forbidden City is the Hall of Supreme Harmony. Inside is the Dragon Throne, where the emperor would preside. Other notable sites in the Forbidden City are the beautiful imperial gardens, as well as the 9-Dragon Wall, one of only 3 of its kind in all of China. The 9-Dragon Wall served to protect the emperor from evil spirits.
The Forbidden City is mystical. There is a dimension to it that is beyond our imagination.
You can't leave the Palace Museum without visiting its extensive gift shop, filled with countless souvenirs for friends and family back home. As night falls, the Forbidden City's mystique is enhanced. The lights accentuate the rich colors. The moat surrounding the Forbidden City keeps it shrouded in mystery. A perfect place to take in the beauty is across from the entrance to Jingshen Park. Or perhaps even a local rooftop wine bar, where tourists and locals alike can take in the majesty that is the Forbidden City.
It's incredible. It's being next to history and in a contemporary world.
Four times larger than the Forbidden City is the majestic Temple of Heaven, whose grounds cover almost 9 million square feet. The Temple of Heaven was used for annual prayer ceremonies by the emperors of the Ming and Qing dynasties.
The Chinese culture, I see it encapsulated in the Temple of Heaven. I think the architecture is magnificent. There's so much meaning to the way it was built. It's just superb.
Built completely of wood and without a single nail, the Temple of Heaven was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1998, and the iconic image of the Temple of Heaven became the symbol of Beijing. There are few parks in the world more beautiful than Beihai Park. Originally constructed as an imperial garden, Beihai is one of the most frequented places in Beijing. Walking through its 171 acres, you'll see all of the incredible architecture and gorgeous gardens that make it a landscaping masterpiece. Regarded by many to be the most beautiful park in Beijing, it boasts stunning views of the city. Beihai also provides a wonderful backdrop for recreation, boating, and even some dancing. Depending on the season, you can see breathtaking exhibitions of water lilies and peonies. Known as the Imperial Gardens, or Yuanming Yuan, the Gardens of Perfect Brightness is the old summer palace. It was built in the early 18th century as a small gift for the emperor's fourth son, the future Yangzheng emperor. The summer palace soon became home to the emperor's family, and where they handled official government business. At the time, the Forbidden City was only used for formal ceremonies. The Boxer Rebellion led to the sacking, looting, and destruction of the old summer palace. After some time, the emperor and his family moved to the new summer palace, known as the Garden of Clear Ripples. The summer palace is a symbol of resilience, having been practically destroyed twice. It is still being rebuilt today, making it a physical bridge between Imperial China and modern-day China. When we visit this remarkable site, we have the honor of being a part of living history as a summer palace continues to be rebuilt. Today, it is recognized as the Museum of Royal Gardens, literally a palace fit for a king. The tradition and variety of food, along with the locals' passion for it, makes Beijing an international culinary destination.
Two civilizations love the food like that, French and Chinese. It's only in these two countries that during the lunch we talk about the dinner.
It's a culinary treat to live here. I mean, China itself has so many different kinds of foods, spicy and not spicy. I mean, China's a huge country, just like America, and depending on where you go, you have many different kinds of food and cultural things behind it.
You can have any type of cuisine from all the provinces, whether it's Sichuan or Shandong or Guangzhou or Hunan. I could go on and on and on.
In terms of traditional food here in Beijing, I eat it all. I love it. Spicy, hot pot.
Hot pot, it's a perfect mixed food. It's a soup, very big soup. It's a perfect expression of the Chinese food.
The ultimate culinary experience in Beijing is the Peking duck. Prepared since the imperial era, Peking duck is prized for its crispy skin and juicy, flavorful meat. Creating the proper texture and flavor is a labor-intensive process, as well-trained chefs cook the ducks over open flames in a hung oven. Constantly moving the ducks and tending the fire are important aspects in creating the perfect Peking duck.
The ducks are terrific. The way they serve them, they come to your table and slice it and all the pomp and ceremony. It is marvelous. I know in the West we say, don't eat the skin. Well, that's the best part of the duck.
The oldest and most successful Peking duck restaurant is Chuanjiudui, located in the vibrant Chenmen Street. Established in the 1860s, it remains popular with locals and tourists alike.
The food scene is growing quite well. You can get, any kind of food you want.
Beijing has not only all of China, but it has all of the world.
Everybody wants to be able to taste their favorite food, their comfort food from home. And you're going to be able to get it here in Beijing, and you're going to get it, and it's going to be good quality.
There are lots of people bringing, something they love from their home country, and they bring it here and they do it right and they do it with love.
I decided to launch a food truck style kind of environment and food. A lot of it really looks Mexican with a Korean twist.
I was inspired by all the foreigners around me and the Chinese that were interested in the culture of America. This Midwestern Americana food, grilled cheese and hot dishes and that kind of stuff. So I really wanted to bring part of something that I was proud of to China.
It's fun, it's exciting, it's something new, like really getting in touch with people here in Beijing, especially giving foreigners, kind of their home-cooked foods, which is a great thing to see a smile on somebody's face in Beijing.
Just like food, tea plays an important role in Chinese culture, since the Chinese consider it one of the necessities of life.
Tea has many functions. There's an old saying, tea has hundreds of benefits and no single harm. The art of tea drinking is not only to quench your thirst, it is also a way to achieve inner peace.
The best way to experience tea culture in China is through a tea ceremony. In Beijing, you can find a wide variety of accommodations. There are tucked-away boutiques that feature traditional Chinese architecture and style. More luxurious hotels transport you back to the imperial era. And world-class hotels have all the modern comforts.
First hotel company that stepped into China. Our influence is more to like setting up a benchmark to the rest of the hotels that how we provide in and out service. What we are actually delivering is not the hotel service itself only, but we are providing a knowledge for our guests, for them to get a little bit better knowledge of the city itself.
The more people visit, the more they see that Beijing is full of excitement. Many international visitors have become interested in Beijing's history and culture. Many tourists can find this culture in Beijing's unique neighborhoods.
Bustling with musicians, street performers, and kite flyers, the picturesque Hohai district invites you to go at your own pace. A great way for tourists to experience the Hohai is by rickshaw.
After the famous sightseeing, I recommend for tourists to slow down their pace and experience the Beijing lifestyle.
One of Beijing's oldest quarters is the quaint Liulichang. According to local legend, during the Ming and Qing era, Liulichang was a favorite hangout for scholars, painters, and calligraphers. This remains true to this day. An almost daily highlight is to be able to see authentic calligraphers paint the sidewalks with beautiful Chinese characters.
Although I'm not a native of Beijing, now I live in Beijing, and also welcome friends from all over the world. Here, I hope you have joy and happiness.
In Beijing, you will find a wide variety of Chinese cultural elements. As a tourist to Beijing, I believe you will have an amazing and interesting cultural experience.
A short walk from the Forbidden City leads you to the historic Tiananmen Street. This pedestrian plaza is a great way to soak up a little of everything Beijing has to offer. the Reifushang Silk Store opened in 1893, offering all kinds of beautiful, high-quality silks. If the Silk Road had a poster child, it would be Reifushang. Just a few short steps away from the silks, you'll find a shoemaker just as old. Originally providing court boots for the emperor and his family, Neiliangshang Shoe Shop has been around since 1853. Whether you have shoes made just for you, or you buy them straight from the shop, you will literally be walking a mile in imperial shoes. After a serious makeover before the 2008 Olympic Games, this 570-year-old shopping district now features a tram and a modern retail landscape. Beijing's convenient location allows easy access to explore breathtaking views and iconic landmarks.
Going to the Great Wall was just absolutely breathtaking. It's amazing how you can just go only an hour outside of Beijing and be somewhere so beautiful. You can see the mountains and it's gorgeous. So you're in a city, but you get the benefits of being in a really sort of outdoorsy place as well.
Spanning over 2,000 years of construction, the Great Wall was made primarily of stone, brick, trampled earth, and wood.
I was
born in Beijing and grew up here, so I went to the Great Wall many times. I've admired it since I was young. I was amazed at how our ancestors created such amazing structures.
It's really cool and it's really long. It's like 5 times as France.
This marvel of civilization clocks in at over 5,000 miles long. That's longer than the drive from New York to Los Angeles.
It looks like you're in a castle, and maybe you think that you are like a soldier from like a lot of 1,000 years ago.
If you're lucky enough to get out to the Great Wall in autumn, you would be surrounded by a rainbow of fall colors. The sunsets at the Great Wall are truly breathtaking. The perfect end to a perfect day trip from Beijing.
I love Beijing because it's a city where you can have anything that you can ever dream of.
It just offers you a slice of civilization, thousands of years old.
The culture itself is a really beautiful culture, and it's something to be appreciated. Somewhere so different, but still somewhat the same.
I believe this idea of the American dream, it exists here.
Living in Beijing and being here is like I fit right in.
So that's the beauty of Beijing.
I'd like to invite you all to visit Beijing. Come, relax, experience our culture and history. All are welcome in Beijing.
The In the following episodes of Beijing, a modern city with an imperial past, you will go deeper into the culture of Imperial China